Hello and welcome to the session of Talking Tech, Women and Girls in ICT. My name is Maryam Fraiji and I'm delighted to present today my high school, the Gymnasium in Cologne, Germany, and even more delighted to represent my high school IT task force. My interviewee today is Nikola Mu from Knowing a One, a truly amazing woman who set up her own tech company a few years ago. I'm very excited having the chance to speak with her today about tech, job opportunities in tech, and related topics such as why and how did you found Knowing a One. Just a few words about Talking Tech. It is a series of interviews where young girls, women interview experienced professional women in tech. Between the Girls in ICT Day 2020 and 2022, there will be a couple of hundreds interviews conducted. We are very proud to be a part of it. The Talking Tech interview series is a joint project of ITU, UNICC, and the Office of the UN Secretary General's Envoy on Youth. Talking Tech also supports the Equals initiative of the UN. Now, what are the objectives of Talking Tech? We, the participants, would love to inspire other girls and women to get into tech. Of course, it would be also fantastic if by these interviews role models become more visible. Because the participants are from all over the world, it is amazing to see how many great talented women are already in ICT and how much potential there is in younger women like myself. Of course, we also like to show how ICT can help to meet the SDGs and help to solve day-to-day problems. Like in my school, when COVID closed schools down and we had to literally overnight develop an IT infrastructure, allowing us to continue learning and interacting. Before getting started, I'd like to say a few words about my school. Respectively, the task force I'm involved with. The Gymnasium is a very multicultural school, and that is what makes our high school so special. On the other hand, that's the reason why for us equality is a very important topic. There are a lot of very motivated and interested students in our school, and that is also how we got through the whole corona pandemic and the online schooling. A few of us founded the task force I'm a part of, and throughout that time we gave our best to support the students and teachers in our school with the new devices and programs, and we still do. Yeah, I feel honored being part of the Talking Tech series, and I'm excited to now have the chance to interview Nikola Mu. And yeah, maybe you can start by introducing yourself and tell me more about your company and yeah, what you're working on.
Mm-hmm. Thanks, Maryam. I'm also very happy and excited to talk to you today. It's, I think, a great chance, and I also enjoyed meeting you already. So I'm Nikola. I'm a bioinformatician by training. So I really studied on the intersection of in informatics and biology. I started with a regular academic career, basically doing my PhD in imaging, then going on to let's say high throughput data analysis for my postdoc, the team leader, research group leader, had a nice and running career. But at one point I realized the problem in academic sciences, or actually any sciences, any biomedical sciences, that frustrated me to that level that I thought I need to do something about it. And this is actually why I'm here today. I really stepped out deliberately, changed topic, changed my role. And I founded Knowing a One as basically the IT company that offers software to biomedical researchers, actually right at the beginning of the pandemic. But we made it through so far. It's looking good, and I'm extremely excited now to talk to you, Maryam, and answer your question.
So my first question would be, what do you like best about your job in technology?
So for me, technology is basically everything I've been doing so far. So I kind of like a lot of things about it. If I need to think about it very particularly, there's one thing I like most is the fact that you're able to talk to computers, basically to program, to make them do things other people cannot do. And so not just consuming the product, but actually manipulating it. That kind of is a nice feeling. And I kind of really enjoy that from the first day of my starting, at school with programming. So this is kind of what I really like. Now I'm not probing so much on myself, but still, knowing you could do, and there are basically no limits. This is basically what I really enjoy day to day.
Yeah, very powerful.
But I also know you do program too, right? Or at least you just started to have a look into it, right? So
yeah, I had a look into it, but I don't really do it consistently. It's sometimes I'm working on like a workshop or something, and yeah, it's not that I have it as a subject in school or so yeah, but sometimes, yeah.
you need to get in touch. That's good. Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
We mostly work with the programs, Teams, OneNote, and the cloud, and I'm not very into programming, but yeah, sometimes I do that as well.
Yeah, that's cool. That's how I got into it as well.
Yeah. You want to ask the next question? Or should I continue?
No, I mean, we can also just directly jump in, just asking back. I mean, you said you started doing workshops and stuff. Like, what was it that encouraged you to get into it, ICT technology in the first place? Do you know how?
I think it was because my teachers and the people in school are very supportive. And they offered me those projects, and they were also like girls only projects. I think that was very motivating, and therefore I had a lot more interest in it. So yeah, that's how I got into those workshops and projects. But I also think that I just really like subjects that have to do with science. For example, my favorite subject is chemistry. And I also like math a lot, and those science subjects. I don't know. My next question would be, could you tell us about an achievement in your career that you are very proud of?
It's actually a tough question. I think there are many small steps that kind of are quite, you're fond of usually if you do your work. But I have to say, so if like I should pick one, then it's about that I actually took I decided on taking another road, right? Not doing what everyone, not taking your normal career steps like academia, group leader, being professor, but really taking the courage to do something about it and don't get intimidated by, well, I was a little bit intimidated, still am, but, just still do actually another thing that you believe in, right? So really have a thought, have an idea, and, being comfortable enough. I needed to grow old to get there, but be comfortable enough to say, I do something about it, and I just take the step, no matter what happens. I need to make it happen. And this is kind of what I think I'm proud of, like, as of today. Let's see what the future will bring. Yeah.
Maybe that's similar to what we do in our task force in school. We always like, our teacher always tells us, okay, you can do whatever you want if you would really work hard on it. And that's like a cool moral.
Yeah, I can fully back that up. I mean, actually also jumping through the questions now, right? Because just believe in yourself. If you have some thought, don't get, someone shy, don't someone disturb you from your way, right? If you believe in something and you have a slight feeling in yourself, you believe in yourself that you might make it work, then there's no reason not to do it, no matter the circumstances. I know it's kind of difficult also for, depending on, your gender, your background, your environment. It's really can be super tough. I fully know that. But, if you have a slight belief in yourself, I think it's worthwhile going for it. And I find it extremely amazing that you have teachers that support you, right? And also offer these girls only courses, because this is not standard these days, right? So I think this is like extremely cool school you're visiting.
I'm very lucky. The next question, what advice would you give your younger self, and other things you would have done different when you look back in time, or if you could travel back in time? I don't know. Or do you have any career advice for younger girls and women?
Thanks for the question. So I have to be very honest here. I think that the fact that I'm here is only because I did all the steps I took. So I cannot really advise me to do something else, otherwise I wouldn't be here. because I think the experiences you do, and you have to do you have to get experience, right, to get there. You have to go through situations. Maybe someone else told you already before what to do, but you still do it differently, and then you learn, right? So you kind of have to do it yourself to be able to really, get the experience and get there. So I wouldn't have done a lot of things differently. I would have told me, I guess, the same thing I'm telling you now, is like, really believe in yourself first, because if you don't believe in yourself, who will, right? So that's the first thing. Just then, if you have that belief, and you have a wish or a dream of the next step or anything, it can be small, big, it can change, doesn't matter. The fact that you do something about it and don't give up, I think this is, extremely important. There's another topic, because we're also talking about the girls and women in ICT. I guess, I know it's very challenging. There are many around us that, well, not many, there are some around us who don't really, treat you like an equal, because you're differ a bit from the norm that they usually see in ICT. And so for me, the learning, I think, over the years was that I start not getting, don't get discouraged by them. Try to avoid people who treat you differently. Just get yourself a, I call it microenvironment that makes you, basically, you get the comfort, but also explore, right? Don't sit in your comfort zone and get there. You kind of need to get out every once in a while, like you are here today, getting out, interviewing, right, for YouTube. Yeah. This is amazing. So small steps, really small step, but I think just do it. And then I think you have a lot to accomplish. I mean, how for you? I mean, you also said you had these girls only classes, right, and the workshops. How do you feel with your peers, right? So your schoolmates, your students, do you feel treated differently sometimes because you're a girl, or you have,
I think I wouldn't say I like treated differently, but sometimes, especially when I talk to my male peers, sometimes I feel like they underrate me at some point. And yeah, it's not that they actually do something or say something that makes me feel that way, but I rather, it's just a feeling when I'm talking to them. But I think that's sometimes putting me in the situation where I feel the need to prove myself, and then I'm always like hesitating to ask for help. But I think that's maybe sometimes the wrong attitude, because that's not bringing me any further. I think that's where it's very important that I get the support of my teachers, especially, that I don't feel uncomfortable still asking for help and not getting that feeling that I have to prove myself or I have to do anything or everything on my own, and that I'm not alone.
I think these subtle feelings, right, that you feel differently treated, although they're not actively treated differently, I think this will persist. I have to say. I hope that the next generations it will get better and better, but still, I think, I mean, I was listening actually yesterday to a talk about unconscious bias, right? So basically everyone has a feeling of a norm, what they see every day, and it's very subjective. So if you meet people where you're not the norm, then you're always different. So it's kind of, we have to accept that fact, right? I know it's something about working a little bit harder than everyone else, as you just said, right? But I think it's also getting help or finding help, I think takes also courage. Sometimes it's also good that sometimes you have to do it on your own to know you did it on your own, right? So it's not always that you always need to get help, I think. So my question would be, do you have any suggestion for us that, let's say, from the business perspective, I feel that we need to start getting girls interested in ICT already early on at school, like you described. I can also back that up from my experience. I also got in touch at school already. So do you have any suggestions for us? I mean, I think I got it already that you have these girls only classes that are maybe of interest.
That would be like my suggestion, because I think they were very helpful compared to like the normal workshops and projects where it was like just girls and boys. But there often it was I was like one of the only girls in that project, and then it was like very intimidating to participate. And sometimes it's I wouldn't say that our generation is like better or has a better appreciation when it comes to gender equality or gender related topics. For example, once I caught them joking about me because I was like washing my equipment for my chemistry experiment, and I thought, okay, I didn't know that this was still a big deal, but okay. So I think these girls only projects make let girls feel more invited to participate. I think it's in general, you get like a more comfortable feeling when you're like in that girls only project. And I think through school, that's the best way to get in those projects. But maybe also internships would be like a very good idea, I think. That's also, I think, often offered in our school. And I think that would be.
So you have basically companies or from close by that offer internships to you proactively?
Yeah. Okay. For example, I think Shempak or something. They offered like an internship for girls for 2 weeks or so, and then you could like just experience a bit how it is to work there.
Okay, sounds good. So I actually would try to take that on my actually to-do list, or let's say having it in as a knowledge, right, to really go for girls only classes and offer internships, maybe also specifically to women, to girls at school already. Yeah, this sounds really like a good step for us.
Yeah, I can say from my experience that it was very helpful, and that's felt very good. And like I said, you feel like rather invited to that or to participate in that project. I think that's like the first step that you should do when you want girls really thinking of the idea, okay, to really participate. Because when it's like a normal project and every boy raises his hand, is like, okay, maybe I shouldn't like participate, it's just a boy thing. And this idea comes rather when it's like a normal project and when it's a girls only project.
Okay, cool, thanks. Do you have some more questions?
Something that really interests me is like a specific situation maybe you got in with this gender equality thing, and did you have any difficulties with that or something, or is there any story you can tell us, or or something that you've overcome and you thought, okay, that was really.
I actually do remember one situation that really frustrated me also to quite an extent, I have to say, is that I was advising a PhD student, and I was in this, they have these thesis committees, right? So you have a lot of professors sitting there. I was the only female advisor, and there was one advisor who just ignored me. He basically didn't, take me serious, not even taking me serious, just ignored me. So I couldn't say whatever I wanted, right? Basically it was like, as if I'm not existing. And that is kind of super, I don't know. I didn't feel good in that situation. And I think this is also why I said in the beginning, I kind of learned I won't be able to change that person, right? So what I can do is try to avoid being around, be around there. At least this is what I took for me, because I always feel bad, and I know it's not about me, because it's like in that only that one situation. So that's why I think you will always encounter people who are treating you differently, like actively treating you differently, or subconsciously. I don't know what it is actually, but really not starting. Don't stop believing in yourself because there's one person that basically messes with your feeling, basically. Yes, that's like one particular situation. I'm extremely happy that you took the courage and went for the interview, because this also, I know it's kind of a big deal if you're still at school. Yes. So I thank you so much for actually doing it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And I think the more we get in communication, we stay maybe in touch basically, and then trying to change something in your own environment, I think that's the best you can do to basically manipulate the norm that exists today, so it will get better for many people tomorrow. I think this is something we can all do. You start doing it, I try to do that as well. And with the video and the interview, I hope we can, encourage more and more to actually do that.
Yeah, make a difference and
make a difference, at least in your own environment, and then to get the norms a bit adjusted for the future. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you too.
And
it was very cool to have the chance to interview you, because you're a very interesting person in my opinion. And yeah, I'm very thankful.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.